Hello and welcome to episode 27 of Mathghamhain Morsels, again in the Sanguine Start series. In this one, I showed you how to do a marinade last time, so I'm going to show you how to do the sister of marinades, a real quick and easy vinaigrette. So I say it's the sister of marinades because you have to think through it in much the same way that you would a marinade. Just like a marinade, everything about your vinaigrette should be a bit too much when you're making it. So it should be a bit too salty, a bit too flavorful, a bit too acidic, and have too much flavor right up until you put it on something. So we're going to be doing a fairly simple balsamic vinaigrette. I have a nice black balsamic here that I'm going to be using. I will be using one thing which is kind of special, which is a cilantro and roast onion olive oil. But everything about this recipe you can mix up. You can use different salts, you can use different vinegars, you can use different oils, different mustards, you can use different flavorings. Just experiment, have fun with your food. As I keep telling everyone, every video, try new things. Try out different flavors. Have fun with this. So, in order to make a vinaigrette, you want to do, I'd say about 1 part vinegar. That'll be a good amount. As I said, you want to make it too salty, so I'm going to do a couple good grinds of salt. The salt that I'm using right now is a red lily. And that should be good. So a good grind of salt into it. Already getting that nice salty, acidic smell. Of course it's acidic because it's straight vinegar with salt currently. Then you can add in other flavors that you want. I'm going to keep mine very, very simple and let the flavors that I've already used kind of speak for themselves. The one thing that I am going to add a bit of is going to be a touch of smoked garlic, because I really like smoky flavors. So that's probably about, I'd say, 1/4 of a teaspoon, if that. Probably more like 1/8 of a teaspoon of smoked garlic. And then some mustard. That's probably about 3/4 to, or 1/2 to 3/4 of teaspoon of mustard. You want to mix that together before you add anything else, because the mustard is going to act as the emulsifier of this. So you really want that incorporated into your vinegar. If you don't get it incorporated into your vinegar, then you'll have a vinaigrette that keeps on trying to break on you. In the Caesar salad that I did in another video, I believe that was in my Sanguine Savory streams, number 2, for the Simple Comfort series. Wait, no, sorry, number 3 for the Simple Comfort series. I think it was number 3. But, no, it's number 2. Simple Comfort series. Number 3 will be when this series ends. I used raw egg as an emulsifier. This is the same thing, only using mustard rather than raw egg. And I also used some mustard in that just as a additional little boost. So now, to the 1 part vinegar, I'm going to add about 2 parts oil. So you want about a 1 to 2 ratio. And I'm going to start mixing that up. See if I added enough mustard. If I'm not able to get it to form up and stay in solution, then I just add a little bit more mustard as a fix. But I think if I stir this enough, I had enough mustard in it. So let's see, how does that look? Might need a little bit more mustard. Yep, I'll need a little bit more mustard. So now it's about a teaspoon of mustard. And that should do beautifully in this. Just again, incorporate it. It works better if you incorporate all your mustard when you just have the vinegar, but incorporating it now can still solve your issue. And that's looking pretty good. Let me take a bit of a closer look at it, see if it's separating any. Little bit, so I need to whisk a little bit longer. And this is the point where you can start tasting it. Like I said, when you taste it, it should be everything too strong. If you notice one flavor isn't quite strong enough, add a bit more. And one thing that I always like adding in my vinaigrette is a couple dashes of hot sauce. Just adds a nice little note to it. So mix that up. And again, give it a taste. That's pretty good. Needs a little bit more vinegar. Not quite acidic enough for me. But this is all to personal taste. The more acidic you want it, the more vinegar you add. If you don't like a very acidic taste, you just want a little bit of it, then you don't add as much. Okay. That's, like I said, a little bit too intense of a flavor. So I'm going to see if that's about right. I'm going to be doing this with a tortellini, so just a very simple pasta salad. I'm going to grab a tortellini and dip it into the vinaigrette. Has a nice color on it. That is delicious. So let me get a bowl. I'll dump my tortellini into it and mix this throughout. So my lovely tortellini, my vinaigrette. Just pour your vinaigrette over your salad or your tortellini. If you're using salad greens, of course, when you taste your vinaigrette, you want to make sure that it imparts a lot of flavor to your salad greens. So just grab a leaf of your salad green and dip it in. Toss this around. Tortellini, try to escape. Didn't quite make it all the way away, as I caught it. So just mix it up. Make sure that all of it comes in contact with your dressing. I had another tortellini just escaped. If you need more, add some more of your dressing. But this is fairly light and lovely little dressing on that. So now, just going to get some cheese to put on top. And I'll join you guys once I have this bowl nice and presentable. And give you guys my normal assessment of flavor and everything like that. Okay, and here we go. So, I just dressed it up and kind of sexed it up a little bit by drizzling some more of that beautiful, simple vinaigrette. And then took some chunks of Parmesan and tossed them on top. I'm getting a lot of that delicious balsamic acidity. And though this is the first time using this olive oil that I said I got, the cilantro and roasted onion, oh, its flavor's fantastic. This works with any sort of oil, though. Like I said, you can make this with just a standard extra virgin. You can make it with an infused oil like I am. You can go for a more neutral oil if you prefer neutral oils. You can go for another really flavor-forward oil. Whatever oil is your preferred. And same with the vinegar. The seasonings, anything like that. So this video is really just to show you guys the ratio. This was something that I learned fairly early on, about the same time that I figured out how to make marinades. I started making my own simple vinaigrettes. As time went on, just like the marinade got more complex, so too did some of my vinaigrettes. I've had some that are ridiculously complex with like 10 plus ingredients. But the simple ones are still amazing. And they can dress up everything from a simple green salad to pasta salad to a noodle salad. You can sometimes find those in Asian cultures where it's effectively just a salad. But it's a nice dressing on some cold noodles. And it's something that just takes a couple minutes to whip up. This was probably one of the slowest ones that I've done. That was mainly because I was concentrating more on talking and making sure that I pass on every important part. If you've made a vinaigrette and it ends up breaking on you, like I said, when you're still making it, just add a little bit more mustard. If you're worried that it'll end up with too much of a mustard flavor, just shake it up if it's in a vessel that you can shake it in, or take a whisk to it, just quickly whip it back up. It'll stay in suspension for a while, and that's all you really need. So with that, have a good one. Experiment with vinaigrettes. Experiment with different seasonings. Try different flavors, different salts, everything that I normally tell you to do. Just experiment, explore, and have fun with your food. And with that, have a good one all. Mm.